India's second nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine was commissioned in Visakhapatnam today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Dinesh Tripathi and leading DRDO officials were present for this commissioning. India has bolstered its strategic deterrence with this commissioning. Moving on now, total transaction volume of UPI is expected to increase to 439 billion by 2028-2029. This is from 131 billion in the last financial year. It will account for 91% of overall retail digital payments. Indian Railways has integrated DigiLocker, a digital document wallet launched by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology with its recruitment portal. This integration now allows job aspirants to link their digital documents which are considered equivalent to the original physical ones. This move will reduce the recruitment time frame specifically for the Indian Railways jobs from the current 18 to 24 months to less than 6 months. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das has advocated for fintech self-regulation to ensure balanced innovation with integrity. He said India's fintech sector attracted about $6 billion in the last 2 years. On to our top focus now. It's been 20 days since the gruesome rape and murder of a junior doctor in RG Kaur Medical College in Kolkata, and that came to fore. The chorus for justice is only growing louder. But with each passing day, the state government faces more and more questions. Today, it finds itself against the wall as well. For days now, the victims' parents have been saying that the government has not been on their side, that they were misguided. Those apprehensions were echoed by the doctors at the RG Kaur Medical College as well after the crime. Today, those fears seem to have been confirmed. RG Kaur Medical College did lie and betray the victims' parents. I say that because CNN News 18 has accessed 3 audio calls that blow the lid off the cover-up attempt. These sensational audio tapes were from August 9th when Abhaya was found raped and murdered. In these 3 back-to-back phone calls, we see a clear attempt to mislead Abhaya's parents by RG Kaur authorities. The first phone call, RG Kaur Hospital lied to the parents saying that she's not well, that she's in a very bad condition. The assistant superintendent kept on insisting, asking the parents to come quickly so that she could be taken care of. They were then told that she was shifted to the emergency ward and only the doctors could inform them about what their daughter's condition was. The biggest cover-up bid was when the hospital told her parents that their daughter had died by suicide. This when they knew that her half-naked body was found in the seminar hall of the RG Kaur College. Listen in to those exclusive tapes.
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলুন।
আমি আরজি কর বলছিলাম। আচ্ছা আপনারা আসছেন তো?
হ্যাঁ একদম আসছি। কেমন আছে শরীর?
আপনারা আসুন, আসলে কথা হবে। আসুন, আরজি কর হসপিটালে আসুন, আমাদের এই চেস্ট ডিপার্টমেন্টের এইচওডি স্যারের কাছে আসুন।
আচ্ছা
হ্যাঁ বলুন। হ্যালো
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলুন। হ্যাঁ বলুন বলুন।
কি হয়েছে কি সেটা বলো না একটু।
ওনার অবস্থা খুবই খারাপ। আপনি যত তাড়াতাড়ি পারবেন চলে আসুন।
কি হয়েছে না সেটা বলো না।
ওটা তো ডাক্তার বলবে, আপনি একটু তাড়াতাড়ি চলে আসুন এখানে।
আপনি কে বলছেন বলুন তো?
আমি অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট সুপার বলছি, আমি ডাক্তার বলছি না।
ডাক্তার নেই হবে কেউ?
আমি সুপারিনটেন্ডেন্ট কথা বলছি। হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ আমি অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট সুপারিনটেন্ডেন্ট কথা বলছি। আপনার মেয়েকে আমরা এমার্জেন্সিতে নিয়ে এসেছি, আপনারা আসুন, এসে যোগাযোগ করুন।
ও কি হয়েছিল কি? ও তো ডিউটিতে ছিল।
আপনারা জলদি চলে আসুন, যতটা তাড়াতাড়ি পারবেন। হ্যাঁ শুনুন, আপনাকে তখন বারবার বলছিলাম, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে আপনার মেয়ে উনি সুসাইড করেছেন হয়তো, বা কিছু মারা গেছেন। পুলিশ রয়েছে, আমরা হসপিটালে সবার সামনেই রয়েছি, ফোন করছি। আপনারা যতটা তাড়াতাড়ি পারবেন চলে আসুন।
আমরা আসছি এক্ষুনি আসছি।
হ্যাঁ খুব তাড়াতাড়ি চলে আসুন।
Now, the RG Kaur Hospital is a government-run hospital. The onus finally falls on the state government, in this case, the West Bengal government run by the TMC. Here's how, at every step of the way, as far as this investigation goes, Mamata administration failed. First and foremost, the family was misled. The hospital did not file an FIR in the case. That was something that came up during the Supreme Court hearing as well. The former principal of this college, Sandeep Ghosh, was rehabilitated even after he resigned. He was only suspended after the Supreme Court intervened and asked him to be sent on long leave. The Kolkata police did not file an FIR until the post-mortem was done, which was almost 12 to 18 hours later. Again, that was something that the police and the state government were pulled up for by the Supreme Court. There was renovation work that was going on near the crime scene as well at the RG hospital. The BJP has been circulating videos how during the time of the crime or right after the time of the crime, there were several people that were seen at the crime scene, including Sandeep Ghosh and some of his associates as well. What were they doing there? Was the crime scene not secured? That again, a question that came up in the Supreme Court. The inability of the state government to prevent vandalism at RG on the night of August 14th when protests broke out was another issue where the state government finds itself on the back foot. Now, there are several unanswered questions in this case, such as why were the parents told that the victim was unwell when the hospital authorities only found her dead? Why did the hospital say it was suicide when she was clearly not a victim of suicide? She didn't die by suicide. She was found there half naked with a bed sheet covered on her. On whose directions were victim's family misled by the hospital authorities? The assistant superintendents in this case, two of them who made those calls, the calls that you just heard, why are they still on the payrolls? Why have they not been sacked? Because the last time we checked, as far as the hospital's website goes, their names are still on there. Is the CBI probing these assistant superintendents for concealing facts? They were questioned by the Kolkata police initially about what exactly happened, but now that these phone calls have come to the fore, will their role be probed deeper? Will the CBI dig deeper and find those facts? Now it's up to the CBI to investigate. But the Kolkata police did investigate, they did question them. The state government did nothing about it. They haven't been sacked, they haven't been suspended like the principal has. So what exactly was going on there? Let's open this up. Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP, joins us on this broadcast. Tausif Khan, advocate and political analyst who backs the TMC, will be joining us shortly. But before we get into the politics of this, I want to get in Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, who is a Padma Shri awardee and chairman of the Nephron Clinic. Dr. Bagai, in this case, the conduct of the doctors, the hospital authorities is under question. What is the course of action that should have been taken, A, by the state government, B, perhaps by the IMA as well? The IMA just stepped in yesterday and Sandeep Ghosh's membership was cancelled. Can action like that be taken against these assistant superintendents as well, who are now at the receiving end of allegations that they lied blatantly to the victim's family?
Good evening. It's an extremely sad story of seeing serial and colossal and deliberate lapses on part of the hospital there in question in Calcutta. There has been lies, there have been cover-ups, deceit, fraud, complete administrative breakdown. A young girl has been killed, raped, murdered, and a family who has brought her up till the age of 31 has been robbed of all their happiness. This is unacceptable. Look at the serial blunders. From suicide to rape to murder to principal being reinstated, a post-mortem being hurriedly carried out, an FIR after the post-mortem. The Supreme Court says in 30 years of their professional life, they've never seen such a mess ever before. Contamination of the crime scene, goons coming and vandalizing the hospital, the crime scene itself with the renovation work happening right next door, being perhaps contaminated, doctors being threatened. This is all wrong. I think the hospital should have come out clean. Of course, the person in question as the principal should have been sacked, not reinstated. IMA has only suspended him, but I would request the Government of India, which is National Medical Council, to cancel his license permanently. He should not be allowed to continue in the capacity or to write the term as doctor before his name, after an investigation, of course. And the two people as deputy superintendents should also face severe inquiry. And if they are found guilty, which is being proved now with the telephonic phone calls, I'm sure CBI is going to probe deep into it. I don't think they have a right to practice ever again in their life in the medical field. Please reach out and see what pain and trauma that family has gone through. The worst thing is for a young girl to be brutally savaged and raped and murdered. More than that is the family has been lied to. This is so saddening. It's irrespective of the political part. I don't think the health minister in that state has any moral duty to continue. The health secretary and the local administration, they should be taken to task. There is no question about it. I don't think this kind of an event should ever happen in anyone's life. You cannot understand the pain to see a young child dying in this manner. Over to you.
Absolutely. And for the parents to be told that she's unwell, come and see what's happened to her, then they being told that come quickly because she's died by suicide, for them only to be found out that she was tortured, raped and then brutally murdered. Tausif Khan, Now that these calls have come up, the CBI will be investigating this, and the CBI also needs to show alacrity in probing this angle. But why are these assistant superintendents still on the payrolls of this hospital? It's a government-run hospital. Why has action not been taken against them? They were investigated by the Kolkata police as well.
I absolutely agree that everyone's name in the past 2-3 weeks who's we have heard that maybe these are the probable suspects should be suspended and should be doing nothing else but to face the investigation. You see, just now you said that now these tapes have come up, but these are not new allegations. The allegation that family received a call that their daughter had died is right from the day one, and even before the Calcutta High Court, when the matter was before the Calcutta High Court under the PIL hearing, the same question was asked and it was confirmed by the counsel appearing for the state. Therefore, this is nothing new. Now, the point here is that why is the CBI sitting tight on this matter? You see, for 2 days, Kolkata police was investigating the case. They made one arrest. They issued 34, summons. Now, from 16 days or more than 16 days, CBI has not even arrested one single person. What political pressure do they have? I am interested, like anybody else on the panel is interested to know what actually happened, what is the truth, and when the victim of rape, such a horrific crime, will get justice. It is absolutely true. You and I cannot imagine for a parent who is receiving a call first from the hospital authority that their daughter has died perhaps in a suicide, and when they come to hospital they are made to wait, and then they learn that she had been raped and murdered. Absolutely horrific. You and I cannot imagine what they must have gone through, and their only demand is justice. All the people who are behind this must be brought to book. Who will bring them to book? On their demand and on High Court's intervention, Kolkata police has been removed from this case. It is CBI who is investigating the matter. Why is CBI playing with this investigation? Why are they going so slow? Now, after two weeks, they are saying that we have this videotape. This videotape, I'm sure, this audio tape, I'm sure they had this from the day one, and there's no dispute that the parents received this call stating that their daughter might have committed suicide. This is their statement from the parents from day one. What is shocking is BJP changing the narrative from demand of justice to removal of Mamata Banerjee.
Okay, I'll have the BJP respond to that, but because you said, Tausif Khan, that this is an allegation that was made right from day one, then you still haven't answered my question. It's been 20 days since. Why are these assistant superintendents still on the payrolls of that college? Why has the government not acted against them?
I agree with you that they have been removed. No, I agree that they should have been suspended and removed from the payroll. But again, equally, the very important question is to the CBI, which is under central government.
Sure, so you admit that there is at least this one lapse on part of the state government.
Why have they not been arrested?
Because up until now, all the other lapses that were questioned, the TMC and the state government has said that no, this is not true. But in this case, at least you're saying that yes, this is a lapse by the state government. Can we agree on that?
As I said, even when in a PIL hearing before the Calcutta High Court, this was confirmed in the Calcutta High Court that the parents have received this call stating that there was a suicide. It is recorded. It is before the court of Calcutta High Court, and this is the reason why Supreme Court has asked a police officer to appear before the Supreme Court and throw light to all these inconsistencies in the statements and in the queries that the court has. And I am not defending either Kolkata police or the state administration or the hospital administration. And neither is Mamata Banerjee defending anyone. Mamata Banerjee has time and again said that there should be justice. And since the investigating agency is not in the control of Mamata Banerjee, there's a limit that she can do. There's a limit to what she can do, and therefore she is demanding justice from CBI.
I don't think she did all that. There was within her limit either. That's really the allegation against her. But let me get in the BJP as well. Pradeep Bhandari, the police was stripped of the power to probe this investigation by the highest court of this country. The CBI has been investigating this case. These audio tapes are now out. Has the CBI gone after these two assistant superintendents?
Well, yes, they've been investigated by the CBI. Just to begin with, the anger of Tausif would have been justified had Sandeep Ghosh been removed from his position, had the two respected officials from the hospital administration been questioned by the Calcutta police, had the Calcutta police and Mamata Banerjee not pushed it as a case of suicide. So all this anger would have been justified. Right now, this is just pure cover-up, and I agree with Dr. Bagai that the health minister should take moral responsibility, that is Mamata Banerjee in this case, and should resign. Now let us come to what the CBI has done. The CBI has issued more than 50 summons. Tausif, you were speaking for 7 minutes. Allow me to
let him finish. I'll come back.
My argument for 3.5 minutes.
I'll come back to you for your rebuttal. Let him finish.
Yes. Factually, let us correct the fact that these officers, the ASI and the HOD, they were all removed by the state government. These hospital authorities were removed by the state government.
The officials were not. Tausif, these respected officials were not questioned by the Calcutta police. Please go and see the records of the Calcutta High Court. Now let me make my argument. What has the CBI done? The CBI has issued more than 50 summons. The CBI has done polygraph test of this respected ASI. The CBI has done polygraph test of Sanjay Roy. The CBI has questioned Sandeep Ghosh, who was promoted by Mamata Banerjee. The CBI has questioned the administrative official. The CBI has taken into account the tampering of the crime scene. So the CBI investigation is under the jurisdiction and the supervision of the Supreme Court, as I said, and the Supreme Court and the High Court were not satisfied with the investigation of the Calcutta police, which is what have been the observation stated. Now these three calls point out something very, very important, Poonam, that the entire conspiracy of cover-up was premeditated, it was deliberate in nature, it involved more than one people, it cannot just be the hospital administration, because when the first call was made, the victim's parents was said that that the victim is unwell. Then after some time, when the third call was made, the victim's parents were told that it is a case of suicide, which means that the hospital administration definitely, particularly in particular Sandeep Ghosh, would have been in touch with certain influential people, probably in touch with Calcutta police, and were deciding how to make a case which was a case of rape and murder as a case of suicide.
But why has he then not been arrested? He's been questioned for 12 long days.
Yes, absolutely yes. But if you look at the concept of arrest, an individual is arrested when you believe that the individual could tamper with the evidence. In this case, the call recording is already in the possession of the CBI, and the CBI is interrogating it. Any arrest has to be done when the possibility of an tampering of evidence can take place. The difference here is, which I very well want to point out, that please do not look at it only as the hospital administration, because the hospital administration called the victim's parents many hours after that. So what happened in those hours is still not clear. It's a cover-up absolutely from the Trinamool Congress-led administration, particularly in touch with the Calcutta police, because had that not been the case, Poonam, the Calcutta police initially would not have taken forward the case of suicide, and the Calcutta High Court would not immediately have transferred the case diary to the CBI. So what I am pointing out, that to say that only the hospital administration is involved, I disagree with that proposition. What I am here proposing, and that is what has been mentioned in the Calcutta High Court also in one of its observations, that this could not have happened up till the time when influential people in the Trinamool Congress, along with Calcutta police, were working in cohorts with the administration.
Sure, that's fine as far as the realm of allegations go, but the fact is no Trinamool Congress leader has been summoned or questioned by the CBI so far, and the CBI has been investigating for at least 2 weeks now. But let me also get in Tausif on this. Tausif, was there an attempt to protect someone as far as this entire case goes, or was this just an error in judgment? That let's float this suicide theory because we don't know how this happened, so let's try and cover up as much as we can, and we'll come up with a better explanation later. Is that what happened, or was there a deliberate attempt to try and hide the facts for as long as they could have been hidden?
Look, this allegation that there is an attempt to cover up is nothing new. It is these allegations are made by BJP leaders, and there's a suspicion.
It's not an allegation that's been made.
No, please connect me.
Yes, Pradeep, 1 minute. No, I'm just saying, Tausif, it's not an allegation that's just made by the BJP. It's an allegation that has been made by the family as well, by those doctors and colleagues of this victim who've been protesting outside RG Kaur as well, and they're doctors. They're not just BJP leaders who are protesting. The Supreme Court has also raised questions on the conduct of the state government, of why, of the police especially, of why this suicide theory was floated in the first place. The Calcutta High Court has also spoken of it. And I don't think after these phone calls it can remain in just the realm of allegations. But anyway, go ahead.
No, these allegations are there, as I was saying. You know, it was on this basis only the Calcutta police was removed. And Calcutta police is today contesting this, highly contesting this and refuting these allegations that they are in no way trying to cover up anybody or anything as the media or the opposition BJP is trying to project. So who will decide whether Calcutta police is actually guilty or anybody else is actually guilty? If any hospital authorities is actually guilty of trying to cover up, it is the investigation who will, investigative agencies who will decide this, who will bring out the truth. So the ball is in the court of CBI. Right. Since Calcutta police is not investigating this matter anymore, we cannot hold them responsible. Yes, we can make allegations against them, and CBI has to bring proof. And arrest anyone who is responsible.
Absolutely, because these allegations have to stand in the court of law as well. So there has to be proof. There has to be proof. All allegations have to be substantiated, corroborated with evidence, so that they have legal standing. That's exactly what the CBI is doing, is what the BJP says. But is the CBI doing it fast enough, Pradeep?
Poonam, that is for the Supreme Court to decide. The initial crime scene was tampered with. This is what the CBI said in the court. The Supreme Court acknowledged and admitted this fact. CBI None of this is allegation. Point number one. Point number two, Sandeep Roy was riding a vehicle and a bike which was of Calcutta police. Point number two. Point number three, there was a delay in filing the FIR by the Calcutta police, admitted by the Supreme Court, acknowledged by the Calcutta High Court. Point number four, that the autopsy happened at the same place where the crime scene existed, which is not possible. Point number six, the Supreme Court judge said that he has never seen such a botch-up investigation in the last 30 years. So none of this is allegation against Calcutta police. The Calcutta police role, a suspicious role, failure to ensure a free and fair investigation was taken into account by the Supreme Court and the Calcutta High Court. This is exactly why the CBI has been brought into the picture, and the CBI is investigating the case. Now, since the initial crime scene has completely tampered with, this is why it is taking some time, because CBI is a scientific investigative agency. And it has conducted polygraph tests, it has questioned the very Sandeep Ghosh, who is the head of the RG Kar college, who was not at all questioned even once by Calcutta police, not even once by Calcutta police.
But he's been questioned multiple times by the CBI, and where that has gotten, we don't know just yet. Sure, but Tausif, as far as the altering of the crime scene is concerned, the Supreme Court has also raised questions of how the crime scene was not secured for hours later. It's not just in the realm of investigation anymore. There is a timeline that was given by the police, by the state government's counsel, Mr. Kapil Sibal, to the court, after which the Supreme Court said, look at your own timeline, up until the fact that the FIR was filed, which was hours later, more than 12 hours after the crime had actually happened, the crime scene was not secured.
What the panelist before me was saying is a half-truth. CBI before the Supreme Court has said that Kolkata police conducted the post-mortem under video recording in the presence of family member. And CBI has also suggested that so far the materials that they have, it seems to be not to be a case of gang rape. Now you see, the queries, the court has a query, the court has a query against Kolkata police about their bandobast on the day when the vandalism at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital happened, on the night when the women were protesting on the street and the vandalism happened. So the Supreme Court had questioned Kolkata police, what were your bandobast and why you could not foresee this, and the police commissioner had already acknowledged that yes, there was a failure on their part, they could not assess. So such a crowd will come with this intention to vandalize the hospital. That's all. If there is any addition or subtraction to it, that's a complete falsehood. Let us first acknowledge the fact. I want to know the truth, like anybody else want to know the truth. This is not a case of Trinamool versus BJP. Kindly do not make this Trinamool versus BJP.
It shouldn't be about anyone versus anyone. But unfortunately, that's what it's come down to. And no political party is innocent of this. Every political party cutting across political lines is guilty of trying to use this as a window of opportunity for their own political agendas. And everyone will say that. But before I get in, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, last 30 seconds.
20 seconds,
Yes.
Poonam. The court admitted that there was a cover-up operation. The court admitted that there was a delay in filing of FIR. The court admitted that the autopsy took place at the same place where the crime scene existed. All of this is not falsehood or half-truth. All of this is being said by the Supreme Court and the Calcutta High Court. He's lying on the teeth. It's nothing to do with only vandalization at the RG Kar College.
No, that legal procedure was no, which was registered after the post. It was Tausif Khan. I know.
Has to be registered.
Yes, Tausif Khan. I know that an FIR of unnatural death was registered.
Yes.
When was it registered? After the postmortem was conducted? Did the Supreme Court not ask the state government that why was a postmortem conducted if you didn't suspect unnatural death? And if you did suspect unnatural death, which is why the postmortem was conducted, why was the FIR not filed before the postmortem? These are not questions I ask you. These are the questions the Supreme Court asked Kapil Sibal, who was representing the police and the state government. How the state responded to this?
Faster direction, asking the senior officer.
Sure.
No. The state will respond. The Supreme Court has asked a police officer to appear before the court and provide answers, and they will have to comply with the court orders. But Supreme Court nowhere said that someone is being tried to, there's a political interference.
Sure.
That someone is being.
Sure. The political interference is perhaps an inference that's being made by the TMC's political rivals.
The Mamata government.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
I give you that. Yes, I agree with you on that. But the TMC and the Mamata Banerjee government is not coming out smelling like roses after all of this, is all I'm trying to get at. But I want to give Dr. Sanjeev Bagai the last word. As far as this case goes and the larger picture goes, an example needs to be set. A, that such things cannot happen. There has to be better security. Hospitals, state governments, administrations have to be better prepared. B, in case this happens again, the response to it by the hospital's administration also can't be the way it was.
Yeah, so I have 3 very quick points, again, being totally apolitical. One is the burden of responsibility administratively has to also involve and include the health secretary and the health minister in that individual state. They cannot wash their hands of it. Point number 2, all the people who are involved with it, even peripherally, including the 2 deputy superintendents or anyone else, has to be suspended immediately. They cannot be a part of any cycle running at the present moment and be thoroughly investigated. Point number 3, all states all over India, this is a wake-up call and a learning lesson, have to beef up their security, have proper CCTV cameras, have enough adequate female guards on the floors, have adequate amount of excess guards and restricted entry, screening of people, not too many relatives and so on. I mean, it's a given. But going forward, I would only make one last statement is, if at any point of time, I don't know the exact details because we were not there at that time, but if at any point of time, even for an hour or half an hour or 5 minutes, the crime scene or the peripheral crime scene is contaminated, you will find it very difficult to actually get to the bottom of it.
Yes.
The tissue samples, the viscera, the kind of the hair samples, the fingerprinting, all these kind of things, they become very, very murky. And therefore, I think the CBI is taking time to knit the complete story together.
We just hope that justice delayed is not justice denied.
For the family who lost their daughter.
The only hope that we can have is that justice delayed is, I hope, not justice denied, because it's been 20 days. We're still waiting for answers, and we hope those answers come to us sooner than later. I have to leave it at that. I thank you all, gentlemen, for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. A quick break on this edition of The Right Stand, but on the other side, we'll get you what's transpiring in Bangladesh. The ban on Jamaat-e-Islami has been lifted. Is an anti-India coalition taking shape there? We'll try and decode it.
IMD has predicted extremely heavy rains in the isolated parts of the districts in Saurashtra even today. Chief Minister has directed authorities on the ground to deploy cleaning equipments and spray disinfectants in Vadodara city as soon as the flood water starts receding. Now, the CM has also ordered the deployment of 5 additional teams of the NDRF and 4 army columns to assist the administration in rescue and relief operations in Vadodara.
खेड़ा के मातर तहसील का बलाड़ा गांव के जो सीम विस्तार है पूरा बाढ़ की वजह से पानी में पूरा घर का हो गया। दृश्य आप दिख रहे हैं जिस प्रकार से कि जो घर मंदिर और सभी जगह पे अभी पानी है, जहां स्थल है वहां जल है। जिस प्रकार से आपको मैं दिखा रहा हूं इस प्रकार से कि जिस प्रकार से जो पूरा घर है वो पानी में अभी बाढ़ आने की वजह से पूरा घर का हो गया है। दूसरी तरफ आपको दृश्य दिखाऊंगा कि जो पूरा रास्ता है मगरोल से सैला को जोड़ने वाला रास्ता है, पूरा रास्ता पानी में गरका हो गया है और यहाँ के लोगों की परिस्थिति इतनी विकट हुई है कि उसका जो पूरा सामान है वो भी स्थलांतर करने की दिक्कत आई है। महत्व की बात की जाए तो संपूर्णपण से जो खेड़ा जिला का ये बलाड़ा गांव है वहां से न्यूज 18 गुजराती की टीम यहाँ पहुंची थी और इससे बात की तब जानना मालूम पड़ा कि 3 दिन से ऐसी परिस्थिति है और अभी तक यहाँ पर वहीवटी तंत्र भी नहीं पहुंचा है। वहां पे न्यूज 18 की टीम पहुंची है और आपने जिस परिस्थिति को देखा अभी यहाँ अभी बारिश जब ज्यादा होती है तो बाढ़ की परिस्थिति आगे भी बढ़ सकती है।
जैसे ही यहाँ परिस्थिति गंभीर दिखाई दी उसी टाइम पे उसी दिन आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल साहब ने पूरे निर्देश दे दिए थे। उसकी वजह से आज हम 5000 से ज्यादा लोगों को हम उसके स्थलांतर करा दिया है और साथ में 1200 लोगों को उनको उसका रेस्क्यू भी किया गया है। तंत्र पूरी तरह से लगा हुआ है। हमारी प्रायोरिटी तंत्र की और सरकार की, क्योंकि विश्वामित्री नदी बड़ौदा के अंदर से गुजरती है और दोनों तरफ बीचों बीच से गुजरती है, तो दोनों तरफ ये पानी फैल गया है। करीबन 10-12 फीट से लेके 3-4 फुट तक 1.5-2.5 किलोमीटर तक ये पानी चला गया है।
Well, this breaking input is also pertinent to the intensifying situation in Gujarat pertinent to the heavy rainfalls. Now, PM Modi has dialed to the Gujarat CM Bhupendra Patel and said that PM is all set to give guidance on matters including sanitation and public health in the flooded areas and to restore public life quickly, and once again assured all kind of support from the central government. So these are the latest inputs that we are tracking from the ground at this point of time, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stepped in offering guidance and assurances of central support to mitigate the entire crisis. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague from News 18 India, Deepika. A very good morning, Deepika. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। बाढ़ से कितने लोग अभी तक प्रभावित हुए हैं और नुकसान की क्या सीमा नापी जा रही है बाय द अथॉरिटीज ऑन द ग्राउंड?
बिल्कुल, खास तौर पे बड़ौदा की बात की जाए, द्वारका और जामनगर की बात की जाए तो ये 3 जो जिले हैं वहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा बारिश की वजह से इम्पैक्टेड एरिया है। आपको ये बता दें कि खासतौर पे पीएम इस पूरे मामले में सीएम से जुड़े हुए हैं, लगातार फोन इन हो रहा है और ब्यूरोक्रेट से कई सारे अधिकारी हैं वो इस पूरे मामले में जो है कि
Thank you for staying with us. Bangladesh's interim government, led by Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus, has now lifted a ban on Jamaat-e-Islami that was imposed under an anti-terror law. A Gazette notification issued by the caretaker government has now said that there was no specific evidence of involvement of the Jamaat or any of its affiliates in terrorist activities. Now, lifting the ban on Jamaat is dangerous to India. It's also dangerous to Bangladesh itself because it delegitimizes the whole movement to overthrow the Hasina government. Now, Bangladesh has seen a bloody history of aiding the Pakistani army in atrocities against students, against intellectuals, against the minority community during the liberation war. And Jamaat's political re-emergence will only poison the Bangladeshi society further. But what does this mean for India? Because that's significant too. Soon after Sheikh Hasina's exit, radical and extremist elements are finding more and more space, it seems, under the new administration there. The recent events show what we're trying to say. There have been relentless attacks on homes and businesses of minorities, specifically Hindus, in Bangladesh since August 5th. Instances of looting and vandalism of Hindu homes and businesses are numerous. Even temples were not spared. That has been reported by a UN body as well. In a controversial move yesterday, the new interim government revoked a ban on the Jamaat-e-Islami, like I just pointed out. Remember, this ban was reimposed on Jamaat-e-Islami just 4 or 5 days before Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled the country. The ban on Jamaat's student wing has also now been lifted. Yesterday, Bangladesh released Jashmuddin Rahmani, the chief of Ansarul Bangla team, which is a terror outfit affiliated with the Al-Qaeda. So where is this radical churn leading Bangladesh, and what does that mean for India? Should we be concerned? Should we be wary? And how should we deal with it? Let's decode that. Opening this up, joining me on this broadcast, Veena Sikri, former High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow of ORF, Parvez Karim Abbasi, Assistant Professor of Department of Economics in the East West University of Dhaka. Professor Abbasi, let me start by asking you, are we looking at perhaps Jamaat, BNP coalition government when elections do happen there? Is that what we're headed for? Parvez Abbasi? We'll try and reconnect that.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I believe you're back with us. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. First of all, let me state emphatically that this student-led popular uprising against the despotic regime of Hasina, which had not given 3 successive elections in row. Now, first of all, again, this is not a radical uprising. That's the first, again, because this has been carried out by all segments of the population. And number 2, parties that had been actually not given political space, namely BNP, they've come to the forefront. Yes, Jamaat has also become active, but we should also bear in mind that Jamaat's traditional vote base has been very limited. The last election of Jamaat was where probably they got 4.8% of the electoral base. And in fact, from 1991 onwards, every time we have had free and fair and participatory elections, the appeal of Jamaat has gone down. Now, one part of the narrative which I find rather problematic is that, again, that India being the world's most populous democracy, and again, we have a very close relationship with India in terms of trade, in terms of do so. Yes, there has been isolated attacks on minority communities, which has drawn universal condemnation from all segments of the Bangladeshi society. What remains to be and what needs to be reiterated that there was a breakdown of law and order, and there was looting across the country. And unfortunately, our Hindu brothers and sisters have also been targeted, and there has been deep condemnation and a backlash against this. And the interim government's Chief Advisor Dr. Yunus had gone. In this type of a popular upsurge, often there is a breakdown of civility, but we are making concerted steps to establish normalcy and our path towards a free and fair, inclusive elections. And the people of Bangladesh have always shown that they, if given a chance to exercise their democratic rights, they have rejected any form of excessive communal narrative.
Sure.
But one thing that needs to be emphasized, just let me add one point, that again, what one should also reiterate in Delhi, that probably this narrative is going in, that Hasina, former Prime Minister Hasina was good for India because again, she kept the radicals at bay. That is not true. She often at times also egged on the anti-Indian narrative because there are several records that she had stated that in 2001, in the Indian government had tacitly aided in in pulling her down, and she had also aided and collaborated with the Hafazat. I'm just telling you that.
Sure. But when it comes to choosing between 2 evils, perhaps the choice was very clear. We'll try and fix that line, Parvez Abbasi, with you. We're having some difficulty trying to connect with you and get you on board clearly. We'll try and reconnect that. But Veena Sikri, I want to get you in now. You know, as far as the actions that we're seeing or the decisions that we're seeing in Bangladesh, they give very little hope to India perhaps, or the fact that there has to be something that India has to be wary of as far as things are going in Bangladesh?
Well, I think first and foremost, what is little surprising to me, that no rationale that at all is being given for these various decisions that have been taken on very important and very significant security matters, or which are of direct concern to India. For example, the jail which was attacked on the 6th of August, the day after former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left Dhaka, near the border with Meghalaya, Shetpur, 500 people were released, including a very known high-level terrorist. Now, the person, Jashimuddin Rahmani, whom you've talked about, he's been convicted of killing a blogger, Rajiv Haider. I remember at that time when this happened in Dhaka, it was a matter of huge concern to everybody in Bangladesh. It was a matter which had the highest concern, publicity there, and this person was convicted of that. But without any explanation, he has been released. And obviously, when we talk about the sleeper cells of the Ansar Bangla team, which is the institution to which this person belongs, and his relationship with the AQIS, which is also the organization trying to have sleeper cells in India, the connections with Lashkar-e-Taiba in Pakistan, all these things are well known. So if there is any direct concern for the relationship with India and for sharing with India security concerns, under Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, that was one of the most important conversations on security issues. And whenever an issue was of common concern or of concern to one country or the other, there was complete sharing of intelligence information, complete understanding on accepting the security red lines of the other country. Now, what seems to me also a particular matter of concern, that who is in charge? Are the Islamists in charge? Are they the ones who are taking these decisions? Because we do know that while there are no political parties in the interim government, we also know that the only person who is there who represents a political party is Khalid Hussain, who is from the Islami Andolan Bangladesh and also heads the Hifazat-e-Islam, which is the organization which has a very particular view on what Bangladesh should be and wants Sharia law in Bangladesh. And also the organization that resisted the introduction of the Women's Development Policy when former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was in power. So what is concerning is who is taking these decisions. There is no explanation at all. Was it the judiciary who took the decisions? Suddenly you see in the papers this decision has been taken. Now, the judiciary, was there a hearing? Was there a request? Why was the pardon being given? Why has the person been sent on parole? In a constitutional democracy where there is a strong executive, a strong legislature and a strong judiciary, you do expect these sequence of events to be made clear to the people. And of course, I think that the role of the Islami Chhatrashibir, which is the student wing of the Jamaat-e-Islami,
yes,
the events that happened in Bangladesh is well known. So to romanticize it as certain students, and we know that there are differences also among the students' organization now because everybody doesn't agree with the ones who are in charge. So there are so many issues and concerns that come up and to which there are really no answers at the moment.
Sushant Sareen, then do you think that the political re-entry of the Jamaat is all but certain, and if that is the case, then would we be seeing a Jamaat and a BNP coalition in power in Bangladesh? Because sooner or later this interim government will have to pave the way for elections to take place there.
I think you're being kind of presumptuous on when elections are likely to take place, because if it was left to the people who are currently in charge, I don't think they have any intention to hold elections. Old men with a lot of ambition don't let go very easily. If they were popular, they should have called an election. If they are so popular, they should call an election and be done with it. And let's see what that election throws up, what the choice of the people of Bangladesh is. But quite clearly, so we don't know how the politics is going to play out, because it's not just the political churn that is taking place in Bangladesh. There is also a massive social and economic churn, crisis, which is also looming large over the events of what has happened in the last month or so. So clearly, the crises have still not come to a head. So that is one. The other thing I think we need to disabuse ourselves is that we constantly hear this. We hear the same thing from Pakistanis, that the religious parties only get about 7, 8, 10% of the vote, 4%, this gentleman just said. It's not important what is the percentage of vote they get. What is important is what is the influence they wield. What is important is their street power. What is important is their ability to hold government hostage. And what is important is how much the governments lean upon these radical Islamist parties, both to gain legitimacy as well as their own stormtroopers. Hasina is aligned with the Jamaat-e-Islami in the past. We've had the BNP aligning with the Jamaat-e-Islami in the past, and let us not forget even for a second what kind of a regime they were running, the BNP Jamaat. What kind of terrorism they were sponsoring across the border, and meant to say that now normalcy has returned. Well, if normalcy is that you release a dreaded terrorist, or normalcy is that you lift the prescription over a party like the Jamaat-e-Islami, which in the subcontinent at least has been the mothership of terrorism and radicalism, then yes, you are welcome to that kind of normalcy. But I think we need to be extremely wary about what might happen in the future in Bangladesh. And I find it both insulting and patronizing for this kind of Hindu brothers and sisters. Nobody bothers about Hindu brothers and sisters when ethnic cleansing is taking place in Bangladesh, and we have been quiet about it for very long. I think it's about time that we speak out about it, about how the Hindu community has been systematically been genocided in some ways in Bangladesh. The percentages which have fallen, and disingenuous explanations that well, people are going out because there are no jobs for them, or isolated incidents. Come on, these are not isolated incidents. It's like an open season. Every time there's some disturbance, an open season is declared on the Hindu population, and we have kept quiet because Bangladesh has been a friendly country in some ways. Not made much of an issue out of it, but I think it's about time that we start talking about it, because what has happened is not something that should be brushed under the carpet. I think it's been brushed under the carpet long enough.
Also, because I don't think the relationship that we share with Bangladesh, or we shared with Bangladesh over the last 15 years, is going to remain the same irrespective of when those elections happen, if those elections happen, and what the outcome of that is. We'll of course have to wait and watch and try and keep an eye on the developments that take place there, the kind of churn that we're seeing in Bangladesh. We'll of course keep a track of that. But for now, I have to leave it at this. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast and sharing your perspective. Shifting focus now to the other big story that we've been speaking of on CNN News 18. It's the repercussions of the Hema panel report. It's exposed the dirty picture of the Malayalam film industry. More and more skeletons are tumbling out of the closet for many Mollywood icons. Director Ranjit is one of them. After a Bengali actor accused the director of sexual misconduct, now a 33-year-old man named Sajid has lodged a sexual harassment complaint against the director, accusing him of unnatural harassment. The complainant has made his submissions to a special police team that's investigating these matters that was constituted by the state government. In fact, Sajid now joins us on this broadcast. Sajid, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We're given to understand that you have filed a complaint against Director Ranjit, but can you tell us what exactly happened, when it happened? Because from what we know, this case is not new.
In my mind, I was a dream, like that director Ranjit, he made us so many stars, newcomers who came to his film, everyone become a star. So I got a chance, at least he calling me to Bangalore, maybe kind of audition. So I went, it's quite natural, I was really happy and I arranged everything. Then I went to Bangalore and it was a very late night I reached Bangalore and he told me that I am in a hotel Taj, it's near to the airport. So it was like a 9:30, 10 o'clock in the evening, like a late night. So I went to the reception. I said, I want to meet Mr. Ranjit. And he given me the room number. But these people asked me, because I was at that time very small, very young. And I looked like a little bit chubby and all. So these people thought I'm a girl. So they even asked me my ID. And they said that we are not allowing people who are coming in late night. Like after 10 o'clock, people are not giving any permission to the visitors. That is a 5-star hotel policies, I guess. So I told to Ranjit, sir, they are not allowing me to, go to the hotel room. So they saying that you have to come to the lobby and meet me like that. So he said, do one thing, just move from there and come out the hotel. And there is a restaurant behind, there is a staircase, which is an exit staircase, fire exit stairs. Just come out from there and come to the 4th floor and the corridor will open there and you come directly to my room. So I was just imagine in a 5-star hotel without any permission There is authorization, people are there. You know, if they find me, catch me, what will happen? But still, I am very unmatured and I am a 21-year-old and I am just believing this is a region director calling me. So, of course, I have to go whatever he says. He given me the direction how to go. So, literally, there is no evidence that I am going to his room. If it is a footage or something, there is nothing. I am going to behind the doors and I'm going very illegally to the 4th floor. Then I went to his room. He opened the door. Casually, he's putting a trouser and shirt. And yes, he's drinking. He's an alcoholic person. So it's my first time experience that I'm sharing with a person who was having alcohol. So he said, finally, you reached and he tightly hugged me. He wanted to talk to me and he said that your eyes are so beautiful and you look so smart, so young. I really like you. Then all the pricing, buttering, whatever she said, that I was okay. Then what happened? He invited me to drink. She told me just have a drink. It's a vodka. And I said, sir, I never had a drink in my life ever. He said, just taste it. Then he invited me. So I'm very new to this background. I'm new to that place and this night. I don't have any other place to go. So whatever she's saying could be okay. Let it. I just had a drink. First I had a drink. Then after I had a drink, later I just came. I tell him that this is so tastes very horrible. So I don't want it anymore. So he said that. No, you should taste it. It will be very fine for me. Then after he told me that to off the clothes and all, and that is really made me so much. You know, he wanted to send me my naked dress. So I just off my clothes and all. Then after all, I can't able to disclose it. It's very personal. He abused me very much. That's only I can say. And it was a really very pathetic situation. I can't ignore it. Something like I was really sad about that.
I can imagine the trauma that it must have been. Like you said, you were just 21-year-old back then, but this happened in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. At that time, when this happened, did you talk to anyone, perhaps from the industry or anyone that you had met surrounding Ranjit? Did you file a complaint with anyone? Did any of that happen back then?
Yeah, so I shared my things to one of my friends and my family, some of members, but they even don't believe that this is Ranjit. You mean director Ranjit? The most great director, legend director. Never do this. You are just blabbering. You're just bluffing on this thing. And I said, no, this is what happened. And I don't have a platform to disclose these things, by the way. I don't have anyone to say, and legal procedures, all the things, I have no idea about that. It was a very trauma for me for the 1 or 2 weeks. I was haunted, and I tried to, I just share a bed with him in this night. He told me that when you screen, when you shoot this on screen, your eyes will be beautiful. So I can make you something better, a beautiful character, which I can script some stories. Like so many things he said to me on the night. But the morning, it was completely changed. He took some pictures, and when he made the pictures, he was talking with some actress on that night. Asked him who's that, and he said it's some relationship between, and that is the actress, and I already informed that the actress name is Revati. So he took my pictures, made the pictures, he showed to her. That's what he said to me on the last night, that night. And I don't know whether he took me so many pictures without naked and just off the. So all the pictures he took and he sent to her. And I was
this
asking,
actress that you're speaking of, this actress that you're talking of, I think that's Revati that you've mentioned in other interviews as well. Did she eventually get in touch with you? Did you manage to speak to her after what happened? Like you said, the morning after, there was no contact from Ranjit. It was like nothing ever happened. But did anyone else, or did this actress try and get in touch with you?
No one. After few days, I was trying to contact him. I was texting him, and then I got a message from his phone, say that don't call, don't give any messages. I am Ranjit's wife, so don't send me any message on this phone. This is what I got the last response from his phone. So just imagine, I'm very sure, I'm damn sure about it. It is a Ranjit only. It is not someone else, or it's not his wife. It is Ranjit only sent that message. But Revati or film industry, no one approached me this thing. This is a very secret business. What happened to me? What he done? It is completely what he misused his dignity, or his what he's a legend director in Malayalam film industry. So he can use any people who are wish to come to film and looking for something. So it is really it's my dream wish to work with any film, any directors.
I can imagine.
Very great directors, and
I can imagine you didn't get any support back then, but have you gotten any support now that you've come forward, you've filed a complaint, you've made your allegations public as well? Have you gotten any support, any calls that have come in post that?
Yeah, I got one or two calls that stop giving interviews and don't disclose anything. And I asked him, who's this? And I want to know, but he's not giving a proper answer. He just said, don't give any more interviews and talking about allegation of Mr. Ranjit. And I said, who's this? So I don't get any support from anyone. I just sent an email to DGP, and today I got there is name of Aishwarya Bongde, something like that. She called me, and in the morning she said tomorrow we have a meeting, tomorrow 11:30. The Kochi, they have a special team for this. They are coming to meet me tomorrow to Calicut. So I hopefully I can reveal all the things, so many things that I wanted to reveal it. So all the things I will reveal it by tomorrow. And no, I didn't get any support, WCC or any kind of film industry.
That's the most unfortunate bit, but now that you've come forward, and I applaud the courage that you've had, we do hope that you get the help now from the peers in the industry, from the SIT and from the activist body in Kerala as well. Sajid, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. It's a wrap from my side. Brass Tacks coming up next.
कैंपेन गुजरात सरकार का चल रहा है, और इसी के बीच कई सारे लोगों को बचाया जा रहा है। एनडीआरएफ की टीम है, लगातार पूरी रात मोरबी में भी थी। मोरबी में कई लगातार उन्होंने कई सारे लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया। ऑलमोस्ट अभी बात की जाए तो 5000 से भी ज्यादा लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया गया है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से जहाँ पे पानी भराव है, जल भराव है, वहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा इफेक्टिव जो अगर गुजरात की बात की जाए 5 से 6 जिले हैं, वो सबसे ज्यादा इफेक्टिव एरिया है। सबसे ज्यादा द्वारका की बात की जाए, द्वारका, जामनगर, मोरबी, राजकोट एंड बड़ौदा, ये 5 जो जगह है जहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा पानी की वजह से, जल भराव की वजह से कई सारे लोगों इफेक्टेड एरिया है, और वहाँ पे गांव के लोग सबसे ज्यादा इफेक्टेड है। कई सारे लोगों के खेत है वो पानी में बह चुके हैं। पानी जहाँ पे खेत थे वहाँ पे जैसे कि सी फेज पूरा बन चुका है। उसके हिसाब से आर्मी को भी यहाँ पे बुलाया गया है। भूपेंद्र पटेल जो गुजरात के सीएम है, वो लगातार इस पूरे मामले में पीएम से फोन से बातचीत करे। पीएम भी पूरे मामले में किस तरीके से नो कैजुअलिटी कैंपेन चल रहा है, तो कोई भी एक भी बंदा कैजुअलिटी के हिसाब से नहीं कुछ होना चाहिए, उसके हिसाब से पीएम ने लगातार जो भी केंद्र से सहाय भेज रहे, तो वो भी सबसे बड़ी बात है।
जी दीपिका, हमें ये भी समझाने की कोशिश कीजिए कि लगातार सिंस गुजरात के सीएम भी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के मार्गदर्शन में और उनसे जुड़े हुए हैं, स्पेशली इन बाढ़ स्थितियों को लेकर, ऐसे कौन से विशिष्ट उपाय हैं जो ऑन ग्राउंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन अभी कर रही है टू अवॉइड सर्टेन मोर सिचुएशन अनफोल्डिंग?
जैसे कल ही मैंने देखा एनडीआरएफ की जो टीम थी, उन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से कैसी कैसे कह सकते हैं कि उसका ये ऐसा साधन बनाया है, अगर दूर 10 फुट भी कोई बाढ़ में है तो उसको खींच कर वो वापस ले आएगा। तो टेक्नोलॉजी के सहारे भी माना जा रहा है कि एनडीआरएफ की जो टीम है वो काम कर रही है। एनडीआरएफ के साथ ही साथ आर्मी की टीम भी यहाँ पे भेजी गई है केंद्र सरकार से कुछ मदद, हेल्थ और सैनिटाइजेशन की वजह से खासतौर यहाँ पे लोगों को मदद मिल रही है। कई सारे उद्योगपति हैं जो गुजरात से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो वो भी फूड वितरण जो होता है तो वो फूड जो जहाँ पे इफेक्टेड एरिया है, जहाँ पे लोगों को रात को लाइट भी नहीं मिली है, खाना नहीं मिला है, तो इस एरिया में गुजरात सरकार और खास तौर पे केंद्र सरकार और यहाँ पे पीएम वैसे सीएम रह चुके हैं, तो वो चप्पा चप्पा जानते हैं गुजरात का, और गुजरात के चप्पे चप्पे जानने के हिसाब से और गुजरात के उद्योगपति से कोऑर्डिनेशन भी है। तो लगा यहाँ पे जिस तरीके से इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट की भी मदद मिल रही है, लोग इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट जो है वो खासतौर पे जो इफेक्टेड एरिया है वहाँ पे फूड भेजने का, सहाय भेजने का काम कर रहे हैं।
Hello and welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Well, now we are focusing on Gujarat, where rain-related incidents claimed 19 more lives in Gujarat, taking the death toll to 26 in 3 days. While around 17,800 people were evacuated from flood-affected areas as heavy showers lashed parts of the state for the 4th consecutive day on Wednesday. Districts in the Saurashtra region such as Devabhoomi, Dwarka, Jamnagar, Rajkot and Porbandar received heavy rainfall between 50 millimeters to 200 mm rains in the last 12-hour period ended at 6 p.m. Now, the IMD has predicted extremely heavy rains in the isolated parts of the district